Politicians, journalists, tourists and members of the public were among those who became witnesses as a police officer was stabbed and several people were injured on Westminster Bridge. Michelle Langham was visiting the Houses of Parliament at the time. She was shut in the central lobby after the incident and said lots of school children were there. She told the BBC, "We were in a cafe when it happened. We saw a policeman down on the floor. We saw a lot of commotion. Everyone who was out on the street was told to get into the cafe. There were lots of people screaming. We haven't been told anything about the casualties, everything we are getting is from social media. Inside we are not being told anything." Daily Mail journalist Quentin Letts said, "This man had something in his hand, it looked like a stick of some sort, and he was challenged by a couple of policemen in yellow jackets, and one of the yellow-jacketed policemen fell down. And we could see the man in black moving his arm in a way that suggested he was either stabbing or striking the yellow-jacketed policeman, and one of the policemen then ran to get help, which was very quick to come. And as this attacker was running towards the entrance used by MPs to into the House of Commons, as he was running he ran about I'd say 15 yards, perhaps two plainclothes guys with guns shouted at him what sounded like a warning, he ignored it and they shot 2 or 3 times and he fell." Conservative MP Grant Shapps told BBC News, "I was walking through the cloisters when the division bell rang. There were a lot of people in Portcullis House, where the offices are, and as we were streaming across to vote, we heard shouting and saw police officers, guns drawn, pointing towards the gate. Then I heard 4 shots in quick succession. Instantly, there were police officers by our sides saying get down, then get back, and we went inside behind the palace walls." Former Education Secretary Nicky Morgan told the Press Association, "I was walking from Portcullis House along the path of Old Palace Yard when suddenly shots rang out. It takes a moment to realize that is actually gunfire, and at that point people were yelling, 'Get down, get back.' We have at the back of our mind all the time that something terrible can happen. The first thing is that actually gunfire? Have you misheard?" But the reaction of the officers around made it very clear this is a very serious situation. Richard Tice was coming out of the tube station as the events unfolded. He told BBC News, "I came out of Westminster Underground and it was clear something dramatic had happened. I was ushered onto the bridge and, looking up and down, there were at least 8 figures on the west pavement. And then the car crashed at the south end of the bridge." Bradford Buck, from Connecticut in the U.S., saw the incident unfolding. He said, "Police cars just kept coming one after another, I've never seen such a quick response. My wife and I came up from Westminster Underground, we walked across to Parliament and there was a car crashed into the gate there. Police officers were running with machine guns, and there was a man down right next to the car. Fearing for their safety, Mr. Buck and his wife sheltered behind some concrete, before police moved them to safety." Another witness, Ishmael, was waiting at a traffic light. He said, "As I was waiting for the light to change, the car sped up and passed me. That small shop after the traffic light ... that's the first victim hit. Second after a few meters and the third, and by then it clicked that something was going on. The car, continued. By the end of the bridge, I don't know what's happening, but there was a lot of people on the pavement and the car went straight."